Welcome, everybody, to episode 113 of the Geek Dad Report. The one show dedicated, formulated, specially created, and to bring you guys all the nerd news that happened this week, last week, and maybe next week. I, as always, am the hostess with the mostest, Brian West, and that beautiful man over there is Ryan Tomlinson.
Hello, everybody. Sorry for the different angle this week. I am still recording from my lovely bedroom, and I took all the boxes out. So I have nothing to set my tablet on.
So I have two questions for you. Are you wearing pants?
Yes.
Are you wearing socks?
Who wears socks in bed?
And a third question. Are you a guy who wears no pants but has socks on?
I don't wear socks normally. I'm not a socks guy.
That's good to know.
I wear socks to work, and then after that, I'm all.
Well, that's just weird. Who wears socks to work? I mean, if you can't wear flip flops to your job, you're living life wrong. That's my motto.
Well, sorry. I have a strict business attire at work, so we have to be fancy when we're government employees. So, just how it goes. Yeah. But we're not here to talk about boring shit, Brian. There's stuff that happened this week.
People want to talk about boring things. Like, we can pull out some stock options. We can talk about the Dow.
Yeah.
And that's literally all my knowledge about the stock market, those two things. Stock options and the Dow. And a portfolio.
God,
I know about a portfolio. Don't know exactly what it is, but I know you should diversify that motherfucker.
Ever since I was a little kid, my dad would get like the Money magazine, and I would get the stock market page every day, and I had notes on stocks, and I would write down what all the new numbers. This is before the internet, people, and all that stuff. I would keep notes on a sheet of paper of where the stocks were going, and that's how I was tracking stocks and stuff.
I'll tell you, here's what happened. They went up, and then in 2008 they went way down.
Yes, and then they went back up again because you always buy into a recession because that's when all the stocks are low. Because historically, the stock, even every time the stock market goes down, it always goes back up, and it'll go even higher.
All right,
so you always buy into the lows. Brian, do you want to talk about stocks and fall asleep, or would you rather talk about nerdy stuff? Because I could do stock market.
I was taking a nap over here. I mean, I was having a real good dream. And you just
all I can say
is
don't buy Snapchat, because if you're bought Snapchat, you're kind of an idiot.
Literally any person alive who owns a single stock in Snapchat should probably just donate everything they own to me and Ryan, because we'll be much better at managing their money. And I do mean anybody.
Yes. Anybody.
One share.
Yes.
Now, if you own stock in Apple, you're a genius. Hopefully you bought it at 96, and then you're super rich. And if you'd like to sponsor the Geek Dad Report, you can find us at the Geek Dad Report at gmail.com. And you just send us a little link to your bank account, and you'll sponsor us forever. We'd love it.
Yes.
And we'll give you a shout on the show. It's got to be worth at least $5 million. Speaking of things that are $5 million, Force Friday. Did you buy anything on Force Friday last week?
No, because I was working. I don't buy. I don't like buying stuff for myself. I'm not like.
I didn't buy anything on Force Friday, but I found something on Force like Tuesday.
Yes. Do we even know if they talk, or they just make noises?
No, they make like a weird bird chirping noise. I wish I had it. I'm gonna pretend like I'm doing it right now, though. It's like.
Oh my God.
Squeak, squeak.
People have already lost their shit, and they haven't even fucking seen the Porgs do anything.
I've seen the Porgs, and I love this Porg. Look at this thing. This is a Porg pop. All right, they didn't even make it a pop. See, most pops have like these big eyes right here. See, there's Goku saying, "What's up, yo?" We're gonna use him for a prop later because it's one of our listener questions. Has a really dumb question. He already knows the answer to it, but I'm gonna answer it anyway. But the Porg already has really big eyes, so look at that. I mean, look, he's got little feet holes there. Look at those. So if you want to know what a Porg looks like, people, there you go. Look at, I'm going to give you the butt shot. Look at that. It looks like a bird butt.
Oh, no Porg buttholes?
No, I don't see one. Unless they poop out of their feet there. It's possible. It is an alien species after all.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is my only thing from the Last Jedi. I did see a whole bunch of toys and stuff that are pretty cool, but as you can see, I already got all these right here, and most of the action figures really don't look that different. There's a pretty cool Jedi Master Luke that I wouldn't mind getting, because I didn't buy any of the Luke stuff from from the Force Awakens, so I'll probably pick up something Luke. But I'm waiting for the Luke with the lightsaber, because you know it's going to happen, but they won't release it now because it'd be considered a spoiler.
Yeah, if you bought a whole shitload of Luke Skywalker stuff last time, and you're expecting him to have a big moment other than turning around, basically, it was like that was all he had to do. God damn it, Porg, you make everything so cute. I think we should just replace ourselves. I'll get a Porg figure, and we'll just do.
Well, you've actually,
just like voiceovers.
You know, I didn't want to tell you this, but if we're on air, most people don't want to hear this kind of news in front of others, but you've been replaced, Ryan, with a Porg.
God damn it. I knew it was going to happen.
I ordered a life-size Porg. It has flapping wings, and it makes a lot of chirping noises. So I feel like it's bringing about the same amount of stuff to the show that you've brought. I mean, it doesn't have as much voice as you do, but I feel like the cuteness level is like times 20, so I'm really trying to bring in a different audience. And, with your time off from moving and your lack of a dedicated computer and constantly changing rooms, wearing no socks to the recordings, I just had to make a decision. And look at these eyes. Look how cute this fucker is.
If I had to lose my spot on the show to anything, I think I'd be fine with losing it to a Porg. Alright, get that thing out of here, Ryan.
Alright, any of you iTunes listeners, I do apologize for the segment because it has been terrible probably to listen to. I have in my hands a very cute Porg, and I am not talking about my penis. I'm talking about an actual Porg pop figure here.
Yeah.
You know what, Funko? You guys are in Everett, which is like that way for me. That's actually like where the moon is, but that way for me. And you guys should totally sponsor us because we're neighbors.
My brother-in-law said they have a giant store in Everett. I didn't know that they had a store.
Yeah, they do.
So next time I go visit my family, I'm going to Everett.
Just call me and we'll do it together. I'm going to grab...
There's only one reason to ever go into the city of Everett now, and it is to
go beg Funko to sponsor our show. And they can sponsor it by just sending me pops. We'll have a whole episode where I just play with pops on. Beep, 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 beep. My new co-host. Say goodbye to Ryan. All right, moving on. We got a whole bunch of things for you guys tonight. We're going to talk about the news. We got we have a review of a certain movie that is destroying the charts that Ryan is entirely too scared to even talk about because he's a big weenie.
I am a big weenie.
Yeah, it's got clowns, and it's called It. And Ryan...
Are you 100% positive it's not IT?
And Ryan is going to cry while I talk about it. So we got that for you.
Cry.
We got some listener questions. We got some good ones. I'm going to tease one question that somebody did using these two pop figures. And if you think they're making out, you're absolutely right. Just stick around for the questions. And then, of course, we have a recommendation. So stick around. It's going to be a fun show.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it all week long.
And if you can't tell by our intro that just came out of nowhere, this show is always unscripted. So be prepared for tonight's... this opening should prepare you for how tonight's going to go, which is really just random.
You know what people should be prepared for at least, though?
All right, well, let me take a sip of my drink here.
They should be prepared for ninja news, Brian.
I'm always prepared for ninja news. What was that? That was a judo chop of information, Ryan. Followed by the uppercut of knowledge.
But don't forget, Brian. You need to do the leg sweep and learning.
Oh, man. The Cobra Kai leg sweep of learning. That's the no defend move. Damn it. All right, now I'm laying on the floor here. I'm going to talk about our first story. People who, speaking of people laying on the floor, people who deserve... Okay, that might speak about... Let me start that again. While I'm laying on the floor, speaking of other people who deserve to be judo kicked in the face, fans have, supposed fans, I'm using air quotes here, people, because a group of Star Wars fans have started a petition to have J.J. Abrams removed as the director of Star Wars Episode 9.
What?
I'm going to say two things. One, these are secretly Star Trek fans, guaranteed. And two, if you really are a Star Wars, even I don't care if you are a Star Trek fan, you find something better to do with your life than to fucking make a petition to have a director removed from a movie. If you don't want to see it, just don't fucking go see it, you losers.
Yeah. Was the Force Awakens was that terrible?
Oh my god!
For you?
It was only like $2.5
I'm pretty sure they all circle jerked when after the movie was out. So
yeah, you know this is that like hindsight shit where something comes out and everyone's like it's glorious and I love it. You know, I will stand by the fact that I loved all 3 prequels when I saw them in the theaters. It was not until much later where I realized like, hey, these movies weren't as good as they could be. But I didn't sit back and be like, Force Awakens, you know, Last Jedi or Revenge of the Jedi or Sith or goddammit. One of those fucking prequel movies was absolutely terrible. Attack of the Clones. I didn't sit around saying, when I left the theater, I hated it, and I don't ever want... No, I didn't. I liked it. I liked it when it came out. But you know what I'm not going to do is sign a petition to have George Lucas banned from anything Star Wars the rest of my life. Because I don't care.
Yeah, here's the thing, though. Online petitions are so fucking stupid anyway. It's more like you wanted to feel like you did something, but you didn't have to get off your ass and do it.
Well, and then a whole bunch of other people got together with you.
That's about how effective an online petition is.
And you formed a community of people who have done nothing. Congratulations. If you are going to send an online petition, save it, even though it is meaningless most of the time, but at least save it for something like how you feel about healthcare, or should we pull out of the Paris Accord, or gun laws. Things that matter to people. You know what doesn't matter to people, except for you people? Who directs Episode 9? As long as it's not... I don't know, Jar Jar Binks or Oob Bowl. I don't really care who directs Episode 9. Yeah. Because...
God, please not Oob Bowl. Don't even, bring that juju.
That man could torpedo this. He could absolutely obliterate Episode 9. Because, I mean, let's be honest. Anybody fucks it up, Kathleen Kennedy's going to come in like a ninja and just... I feel like she comes in wearing the Indiana Jones suit with the bullwhip and just on these directors, like, if they get it wrong. Just snaps them and...
That wouldn't surprise me. Anyway, she seems like a whippy kind of person.
She does. It's kind of hot.
Yeah, I know. We just kind of turned this whole. Yeah, we just turned this whole thing around, man.
Welcome, Ryan, to my welcome to my dreams.
Is that what you dream about? Kathleen Kennedy whipping you with the Indiana? Just you wear the hat.
Kathleen, call me.
Kathleen
Kennedy, call me. Anyway, moving on. Apparently, we may be getting a Star Wars trailer sooner than later. Somebody tweeted out that it'd be a good time to release the Last Jedi trailer. It was right around Force Friday. And Mark Hamill himself hopped on Twitter and said, oh, you know, I can't say that, but maybe you should watch the Monday Night Football game. I think he said on October 9th, and you might see something special for no reason. Basically, he's saying that, hey, I think the Star Wars trailer is dropping. According to Mark Hamill, his inside sources, I'm guessing he believes the Star Wars trailer, Last Jedi trailer, is going to drop then. I won't watch it. We've banned trailers.
If I remember right, Jeff even looked, I think it's the Bears against some other super shitty team.
The Vikings.
So, the Bears and the Vikings, yeah. So
both teams have
essentially that is going to be the only reason to watch. It's just to wait for the Star Wars trailer. Because that football game is going to be...
Yeah, probably.
By the way, Brian.
Yes, Brian.
Congratulations on another good week of GDR versus the NFL.
Thank you.
The solo show that Brian has been doing for the Geek Dad Report. If you guys have not been watching, you should.
You should. I don't know if you should necessarily go along with my picks. Like, I picked the Niners tonight.
Yeah.
They are currently losing. Let me check. Update. They are losing 41-26. So I'm guessing that is going to be a loss this week. But you know what? I pick a lot of underdogs. That's what I do.
Yeah.
And I always give a disclaimer. Do not bet with my picks. Just use them for
Brian's a good 50-50.
I'm a good... No, hey, I'm 18-12 on the year, so I'm doing pretty good. But thank you, Ryan. Yeah, if you guys aren't checking it out and you love the NFL, it's more kind of just comedy and talking about football than it is actually serious sports betting type stuff. But anyway, check it out. Let's see, what's next?
Star Wars.
Darth Vader maybe appearing in Han Solo.
I don't care at this
point. How does that
point.
strike your fancy?
Nothing about the Han Solo movie gets me excited. I like Han Solo when you didn't know anything about him and it seemed like he was just making up shit. I don't want to know the real stuff. I liked it when it seemed like it was more. He was like a mythical figure that did all these crazy things.
Yeah, I think I have two problems with this movie. One, it's a movie that we really didn't need. Now, that being said, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so I'll probably go see it opening day because I just love Star Wars. And but yeah, I'm not excited for this movie. Like, there's literally no excitement for this. It's an iconic character that didn't need to be, I feel like we knew everything we needed to know about Han Solo. I don't think we needed to see anymore. But that being said, as far as Vader goes, sure, why not? It fits into the time period. I feel like I'm starting to worry that Vader's going to be like the Rock of Star Wars. We're just going to sprinkle him in so everyone goes and sees it. And
they're going to have like, here's your 5 minutes of Darth Vader, everybody.
I mean, Darth Vader will probably show up and kill a whole bunch of people and then run away. I mean, and it was awesome in Rogue One, and I've been very vocal. I'd love to see a Darth Vader movie, and I know people say, we've already got 6 of them. Yeah, but we've never got one where Darth Vader's just an evil motherfucker running around the galaxy just gaffling fools, right?
And seriously, that's what everybody will watch that.
Yeah, because by the time we got
even if it's just Darth Vader just going in and just fucking force choking people and just slicing them up and lightsabers. But
yeah, I mean, in the original trilogy, he was already a badass and didn't really have to do much. And then by the time Empire Strikes Back rolls around, he, he's on a redemption arc by this point. So we just want to see him gaffling people left and right, and that's the movie we want to see. I'd much rather see that than a Han Solo movie. That being said, I hope it's good. If they do Darth Vader right, I'm never sad to see Darth Vader in a movie. It's not like I'm like, oh damn it, here comes Darth Vader again.
Yeah.
Who is this guy? They just are way overusing him, but I don't know. I'm just having a hard time, like you said, any excitement for Han Solo. Ron Howard also teased an image of the spice mines of Kessel, so it looks like we're going to get the Kessel run in this movie. I just worry that they have a beat-by-beat. I worry that all the little one-liners that they've had in Star Wars, they're now like made a list of them. Okay, spice mines of Kessel, Sabacc tournament, win the Millennium Falcon. I feel like that this whole movie is just a checklist of all the things we already know about Han Solo.
Is there going to be somebody that tells him that they love him, and he just says, "I know"?
I don't know. I do like Ron Howard, and as much as I didn't love Rogue One as much as everybody else did, at the end of the day, it was a fun movie. So I have no doubt that Han Solo will be fun, but I don't know. We'll see. Until I see a trailer, I think I'm just not going to get excited. Something that can get you, the one I am excited about, obviously, is The Last Jedi. And we are slowly getting a few things here and there. They're starting to release the images, and like I said, we're going to need another trailer. It comes out in December, so we're going to start getting the full promotions.
How well have you been doing at avoiding stuff?
I'm pretty good.
Because I've been trying to avoid everything.
Obviously, for this show, we have to talk about things. So you kind of, to talk about them, you got to take a look at them. I'm not going to watch the next trailer. We've already talked about that, but they've been pretty good about not giving away too many spoilers. Like it says, Snoke could possibly be this person. I just stay away from those kind of articles. Or this person may show up in the trilogy. And I'm just staying away from them. They did. Lucasfilm just released 10 high-vis. My brain.
High resolution.
Yeah, high resolution. Jesus. Sorry, I sold some safety stuff today, and I'm thinking about high visibility. High resolution, really nice pictures, from some of a lot of the characters and stuff. And you got Luke Skywalker, Rey, Phasma. Nothing spoiler, but those are cool. So I've been able to look at those and find stuff like that gets me excited for it without actually giving away any story or plot. I just don't really, I just don't want to know in this one. I feel like I've seen everything I need to see about this movie to get me excited. There's nothing I'm going to see that's going to make me more excited. Or make me want to see it more. I mean, we're not even going to have a show on Thursday night of this coming out because I'm going to be in the theater. And I'll probably do a special review as soon as I get done. I am so excited for this movie. There's nothing else I need to see about it. So, honestly, Ryan, I've just kind of stayed away from everything other than what I need to for the show.
Yeah, I've been trying to do, I'll read the headlines on stuff because normally that's not, but I'll look at whatever the images that go with the headline, but I don't even read anything anymore.
Yeah,
I want this to be pure. I want to lose my virginity on this movie.
Well, I mean, think about Empire Strikes Back. Spoiler for anybody who's not seen Empire Strikes Back yet, which
Okay, if you have not seen Empire Strikes Back, then I don't know why you're even listening to our show in the first place. But continue.
You know, can you imagine going into the first time you saw that and you found out that Luke was Vader's son? I wouldn't want to see anything that even hinted to that, right? I mean, it just makes it so much of a better moment, and that's what I want for, you know.
Yeah, you don't want it to be like Homer Simpson, that one Simpsons episode where Homer walks out of the Empire Strikes Back with Marge, and he said, "Man, I can't believe it."
Yeah, exactly.
Luke is Vader's Luke's dad, and everyone's like, "Ah."
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine that? I mean, how mad would you be if that was you?
I would have been pissed.
Yeah, whatever. Well, anyway, moving on. That's all Star Wars news we got for you guys. We'll be talking a lot about Star Wars coming up over the next month or so because there are a few months leading up until December. But something else I'm really excited about is Justice League, and one of the members of Justice League, spoiler alert, that's still alive, is Superman. And apparently Matthew Vaughn, while doing his tour for the Kingsman, which I've heard is really good, Kingsman 2, he has confirmed that he has been in talks with Warner Brothers to direct the Man of Steel sequel. And if you're not familiar with Matthew Vaughn did both Kingsman movies, did Kick-Ass, did X-Men First Class, did Stardust. He is a fantastic director that introduces a ton of fun and, you know, just lightness into heavy source material. So his movies are very serious, but also they're not like soul-sucking dark when you watch it.
I think this is actually a good idea by DC if they are going this route, because a lot of their movies tend to be on the darker side. And I think if there's one movie that can be, you know, somewhat lighthearted in a way, it would have to be Superman.
Well, yeah, I mean, and not just that. There's a way. Oh, you gotta say Stormtrooper. I froze.
Stormtrooper. Right? I was just gonna say Stormtroopers, Brian. So hopefully. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, I'm here. You know, and I think there's a way to have serious storytelling, but also have, you know, fun with the material as well. But I think this would be a great pick for him. I would be extremely excited if I found out that Matthew Vaughn was the director of Man of Steel 2. And more importantly, I'm just really excited that there are talks going on for Man of Steel 2. All right, let's see what else we got here. Kind of scrolling through the news. We talked about Funko earlier. Apparently they're doing mystery minis. They're pretty cool. You can rip them open and you don't know which one you're going to get. They're little mystery minis. They're about this big. They're doing an entire Disney afternoon characters. So if you don't know who that is, we're talking Darkwing Duck, Launchpad McQuack, DuckTales, Goof Troop, Adventures of Chip and Dale.
Tailspin.
Or, sorry, was it? Rescue Rangers. That's what I was thinking of. So they are adorable. They are cute as hell, and I'm getting them all for my kids.
You're just going to buy, like, the whole giant box that it comes in?
Dude, this is the best part of being old now, is that I can just walk in and be like, I'll take that box before you open it. That's like $200. I don't care. Just hand it over.
What was the girl on Rescue Rangers? I cannot think of her name. Gadget?
I don't remember. Gadget? I think it's Gidget. I think you're right.
That's right. I always thought she was the coolest.
She is cool. She is the coolest.
Sorry, that was just a random thought. Sorry, it just popped in my head.
That's all right, man. Go ahead, let anything you want to pop through your head. I'm stalling anyway because I'm just looking through.
I got a lot of stuff that just pops right into my head. But
Speaking of cool, badass chicks, Ryan, there may be no badass cooler chick than Linda Hamilton in Terminator 2, and apparently she's coming back for Terminator 6.
I'm not sure how I feel about it, just because I'm interested. Are they doing it after, what was the last one? Genesis?
Yeah, so apparently this is going to get rid of Terminator 3 on. So Terminator 6 is basically going to be Terminator 3. Okay, so and then, after the moment where the only thing
that happened is Terminator 1 and Terminator 2. And James Cameron basically saying 3, 4, 5, and 6 never happened.
He in fact has sent a Terminator back in time to kill Terminator 3, Genesis, and Salvation. They're all dead.
God, I can't even remember those three. Like, I kind of remember.
I remember Terminator 3.
The one had the girl T-1000.
She had the hot lady
Terminator. Yeah, they had the hot lady Terminator.
And then Terminator Salvation had a whiny, really angry Christian Bale.
Oh, that's right.
And then Genesis had Khaleesi and old Arnold. And
that's right.
Yeah, that's it. Anyway, whatever. Speaking of Arnold and old movies, Predator's making a comeback here real soon. And next summer, we're going to be getting The Predator, Shane Black's version. And apparently it's going to have an all-new setting. If you thought it was going to be in the jungle, you'd be wrong. If you thought it was going to be in an urban city,
it's going to be underwater.
You'd be wrong. If you thought it was going to be Avatar 2 underwater, you'd also be wrong. No, it's getting... Damn it. It's taking place in suburbia America, in the suburbs.
Yeah. You know, that could be anywhere.
Well, if you go with what I actually see, I got a theory. I think this is a sequel to The Burbs starring Tom Hanks.
That could be possible. I don't know. I don't think so.
All I know is that apparently
I will take a Predator. So is the Predator going to be just like murdering everybody?
I don't know. All I know is that the story centers around a father and his young son, and the Predator in the suburbs. I don't really care. It's written and directed by Shane Black. It's got a great cast. I'm excited for it.
Just take solace in knowing that a lot of people are going to die, and it's going to look rad. Yeah. And I'm willing. How many dogs are going to die? At least one.
Probably 2.
There's somebody's pet dog going to eat it. There's going to be an annoying chihuahua that just...
Oh, listen, every single thing you can think of about suburban life is going to be taking, is going to play into this movie. There's going to be some... Predator's going to fall into a pool, guaranteed.
Yeah.
He's going to jump a few fence, Ferris Bueller style.
Some old lady's going to be, like, watching him through her front window with binoculars. And then he's going to fucking just blow her face off. Probably.
But you got to have a gun. That's how it works. But yeah, I'm guessing he's going to be coming to America because everyone in America has a gun.
I hope he finds a white supremacist and
he just murders a whole
punches him in the face.
Neo-Nazi like gang on a protest march. That'd be awesome. Something else that's going to be awesome, since we're talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger and his shows here. True Lies is getting made into a television show at Fox with James Cameron producing. Now, normally I would say this is a terrible idea, but James Cameron's on board, number one, which I like. And number two, after seeing Lethal Weapons on Fox, that is one of my favorite new shows from last year. And my guess is they'll probably pair True Lies up with it. I think it all depends on who you cast and what the story is, but I think that would be a great television show.
Was True Lies the one with Jamie Lee Curtis, or was that Eraser?
No, that was True Lies. And then it had
he's sitting in a chair.
What's Roseanne Barr's ex-husband? Arnold something. Tom Arnold. Tom Arnold was his partner, and it was like terrorists were trying to sneak in a missile.
Yeah, I remember that was the first time I saw Jamie Lee Curtis in her undies.
Yeah, that was a sexy strip scene.
I was like, so that's Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah,
I remember I was watching with my parents, and my mom screamed, "Jamie Lee!" Like she was gonna have some kind of impact on like getting her to not do that. But
that's funny. That's hilarious. But yeah,
that's always ingrained in my brain. My mom screaming at Jamie Lee Curtis during that stripper scene.
Mom. That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for it. True Lies is one of my favorite movies. I think this could actually, when you think about what True Lies was, kind of a special CIA agency that was also a comedy, I think it actually will work really well as a TV show. I would like to see it more on like HBO or Starz or something where you can get the bad language in there. That was part of what made it so funny. But but I also said the same thing about Lethal Weapons, and like I said, that show turned out to be really good even without the swearing. So I'm excited for it. I'll check it out when it comes out.
I do have one more Arnold Schwarzenegger news that we did not post.
What?
He converted his Hummer into an all-electric Hummer. So he's got a Hummer that's 100% runs off electric.
God. You know what? If anybody doesn't like Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know what? You're just not American.
If you had Arnold Schwarzenegger fuck you money and prestige and power, and you could do it literally whatever the fuck you want, like making a Hummer run off all electric, I would do that shit too.
You know, and I actually mean, if you don't like Arnold Schwarzenegger, you're un-American. I mean, he is the American dream. An immigrant who came over
from Austria,
started with nothing.
He from fucking hardcore communist Austria.
Started with nothing, worked out, got big muscles, and became rich based off of it.
The governor of California.
He became, say what you want to, probably a really shitty governor, didn't live in California, but he became the governor of California.
Yeah.
Yes. American.
Yeah. America.
But, anyway, way to go, Arnold. Hopefully Arnold will show up in True Lies. I don't think he's doing TV right now, but it'd be great if he was like the guy in charge. That'd be great.
Yeah.
If he played
that, shows up.
Not Clint Eastwood, Charleston Heston. He should play Charleston Heston's role in that.
Yes, that'd be great.
I gotta
watch. I have not watched True Lies in a long time.
Yeah, I don't think I own
really
it.
Want to watch it.
I gotta get that on Divid now that I think about it. Alright, well, since we were speaking of True Lies and Jamie Lee Curtis's super sexy striptease, hopefully, I don't think she'll be doing it in this movie, but apparently Jamie Lee Curtis is also coming back for a new Halloween movie. She's gonna play Laurie Strode one more time. And if you say to yourself, wait a tick, I thought she was dead, you'd be correct, because she died in Halloween H2O Resurrection, I think. I don't know, she died. But apparently that movie's getting pushed aside, and sure they're bringing her back.
Why is it that they're just, like, trying to, like, they make these movies that are based off the old one, but, like, just forget this one, and this one.
Because, okay, back in those days, so you had something that hit. Now, think about sequels. Sequels back in those days were just a straight money grab for the most part. You had a few things like Star Trek or Star Wars that knew that they were part of a bigger universe, so they made that. But those were the few things that made, you know, these shared universes, these big universes that you told stories out of. Everything else was just like, let's just tell a story and slap Predator on there, and we can make money, right? And so... Yeah. I think people now, because corporations literally own everything, and studios look at the money that things like Marvel brings in, and and Star Wars is still bringing in, and they say, okay, here's what we need. We need to have some continuity, right? So we'll say all these other crappy sequels that we just threw out there are gone. They take the ones that they like. I mean, they were going to do it with Aliens, Alien 5, the one that we wanted to see, Neil Blomkamp's. Yeah. They were going to get rid of Alien 3, 4, 5 versus Predator 7, 9. And we were going to go straight from there, because you have good movies, and then you just have a shit ton of crappy sequels for all kinds of properties that they just did just because they want to get paid. And now they want this continuity of that great storyline so they can sell it as that, right? And so that is what you have. You have people trying to rebuild these universes and get rid of the garbage. They're trying to retcon all the shit out.
Well, I guess I can't really fault if they're actually trying to make it like a good continuity kind of thing. But
yeah, I mean, that's my guess. Plus, it's a money grab. Apparently this is the last Halloween movie. It was written by Danny McBride, which is kind of cool. I'm not a huge Halloween fan of the movies, but whatever, I'll watch it. But I'm sure it'll have some scares in it, Ryan. Speaking of things, by the way, since you were speaking of things that are scary, Guillermo del Toro's new movie apparently has a human fish monster sex scene that it features full nudity and like all kinds of weird sexiness.
Does the fish monster lay a bunch of eggs and somebody stands over it and fertilizes it?
All I know is this. Apparently when they were describing it to the actors, he said, picture like Creature from the Black Lagoon, but this time he actually gets to have sex with the damsel in distress. I was like, oh, gross.
That's gross.
Good old
I don't want to see that.
Guillermo del Toro. What a weirdo. Yeah. Whatever. All right, what else we got?
Did you ever see Pan's Labyrinth? I still get freaked out by the thing with the eyes in his hands. Yeah, that was a good movie. You know
what's funny is everyone talks about him like he's the greatest director of all time, and he is a visionary. Don't get me wrong. His stuff is definitely a lot different than anything else we've ever seen. But I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm going to say it right now that I'm just not a big Guillermo fan. But whatever. Yeah. Speaking of things that people aren't fans of, I got a couple of quick stories for you. One is The Defenders was the worst watched Netflix show that they've ever made.
Sorry. All Netflix shows? Or
they've ever made of the superheroes. It was the least watched of all their superhero shows. Which isn't really surprising. Have you watched it yet?
It wasn't rewatchable.
Well, no, and it was kind of boring, to be honest.
Didn't we review it? I thought we reviewed it.
No, did we? I thought we were going to review it after you watched it.
This is how unlikable it was. We can't remember if we did a fucking review on it or not.
That's true. I will say this, Daredevil was badass, but other than that...
Well, yeah, Daredevil's always badass, but if there's one thing you get out of the Defenders, it's that the Daredevil's a badass, Iron Fist is okay, Jessica Jones we could do without, and Luke Cage is just really good at taking punches.
And the Hand is stupid.
Yeah. Fucking get over the Hand.
I mean, come on, spoiler alert here, people. The entire story centered around dragon bones that they want to cut, and then turn into some black ooze called the Substance that we heard about 30 billion times, and extend their life forever. It's a stupid story. That's bad writing, people. Come on, be better. Somebody else who can be better is Fox. And apparently their CEO is saying that don't rule out a very soon possible Wolverine reboot.
No.
Can we just reboot the rights back to Marvel? Can we do that?
Yeah, I really wish they could reboot the rights back to Marvel. There's no way you can reboot Wolverine.
You can, but not yet. I mean, we literally just got Logan last year. Give us a few years for a new Wolverine, but that's not going to happen. He makes a lot of money.
Let people try and forget about Hugh Jackman, because you're doing it way too soon, and it's going to draw way too much comparison. It's going to really set them up for failure, I think, honestly.
Well, speaking of failure, Ryan, speaking of failure, Marvel has had their own failures recently, mostly not with the Defenders and now with the Inhumans. The Defenders was at least watchable. Apparently the Inhumans is so unwatchable that rumors are ABC has already canceled it. Apparently they are promoting this upcoming season, as the complete series.
Wait, so how they're just going to be like...
Here's your 6 episodes.
Well, it ended on a cliffhanger, so...
You know what? I can't wait to watch it now. If it's that bad...
Yeah, I want to see it, just fucking watch it just burn.
Come on, it looked terrible. Anybody who thought that those trailers looked good was lying to themselves. They looked awful.
Well, they fucking shaved Medusa's head.
Yes. September 29th is coming up very soon, so we can all enjoy the demise of the Inhumans together. We will totally review it on the show.
I smell a craptastic, Brad.
Oh, good call. We haven't brought that back in a while. I think that is going to be our next craptastic. Congratulations, Ryan. You have successfully teased the segment. Let's see here. What else? Speaking of things that suck. Fuck, man. Dude got shot down in Mexico. The scout director, let me find his name here. Carlos Munoz, apparently the scouting director for Narcos, was shot and killed in a very dangerous part of Mexico while looking for, scouting locations for season 4.
Yeah. That's just sad. Dude, I read about it, and I feel bad for this family, but there's so much that go into shows and movies that people don't even come close to understanding.
Yeah.
It's not cool all around. That's for sure.
No, it sucks, man. Well, Mr. Munoz, say his name right? I think so. Well, Carlos, from the Geek Dad Report, as always, we say, may the force be with you, and good journey, man. That sucks. And people, if you're traveling in bad parts of Mexico, be careful. Stick to the tourist spots like I go, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Last couple things we got for you guys is HBO's Watchmen. Apparently, we talked about that it had been greenlit, and then it was maybe yes, no. Well, they put out a picture. They tweeted out a picture of the Watchmen of Amadeus's boots, and it says that it's begun production. So I guess it's go. It's happening.
Yeah.
Don't know when that's coming out, but it's coming.
There's any network that should be doing a Watchmen TV show, it's HBO.
Yeah. Well, and then lastly, what do we got here for you? Which we're going to be talking about here in about 5 minutes or less. Apparently, the director's cut is going to have an additional 15 minutes of movie. So if you've seen this movie and you thought, wow, there's some stuff they maybe cut out, well, you were right. We're going to get a 15-minute longer director cut. And considering the movie's already an hour and 20 minutes, that is a long movie.
It's going to be 15 minutes of just that clown staring and breathing heavily.
And that's not all there is, Ryan, which we're going to talk about in a second. But before we do, there was a couple trailers we got to talk about. I got to get your opinion on. Did you watch the new Jumanji trailer? They dropped another trailer.
Oh, I haven't seen the brand new one. No,
it looks cool.
I prescribed to the Jeff theory.
Well, I watched most of it. It's more or less of what we got the last time, just more expanded on. I think this movie looks great. In fact, the only thing I think that's going to be bad about this movie is it releases a week before Star Wars, which is insane. So it's going to have a big opening weekend, and then it's going to completely die in the theaters. Maybe if you're smart, you'll move that back a few weeks, maybe.
But I did watch the other trailer that I know you're going to talk about.
Tomb Raider? Did you watch the Tomb Raider trailer?
Oh, I did watch that one.
Looks good. As a person who played the rebooted Tomb Raider game, it looks exactly like the new Tomb Raider game. So if you played that, which if you haven't, I recommend it. It's a very good game for, I believe it released on Xbox and PlayStation.
I have not played Tomb Raider since I was a hormonal 16-year-old boy.
Beautiful pixelated boobs. The new Tomb Raider is a much more realistic looking female figure. She's still very attractive and she's very fit, but she's not, zero waist with quadruple, 36 triple Ds. It's, but no, it's really, it's think of kind of an Indiana Jones story, but with a female, which has always been what Tomb Raider is. I thought the video game captured her origins very well. It's like a Tomb Raider Begins, and it looks like this movie is going to follow that path. So, I don't know, I think it looks pretty good. It's got Alicia Vikander. She's an Oscar-winning actress. I don't know. I'm excited for it. This comes out, I think, early next year, but I'm excited for it. The trailer that Ryan wanted to talk about that we were both way excited for is the new Punisher Netflix series. Now, we just trashed the Defenders, but Netflix just released the first full-length trailer for the upcoming Punisher. No date on when it's coming out, but we do know it's sometime this year, so my guess is Stranger Things comes out in October. I think we're going to see Bright comes out in December. They have nothing on the slate for November, so my guess is that we're going to see Punisher in November. It's going to be 13 episodes, and if it's anything like the trailer...
massive slaughter.
Oh my god. So, first of all, let's talk about the trailer. They set it to Metallica's One, and that was amazing.
That was the first thing I wanted to say, was that choosing Metallica's One was probably the best choice for that fucking trailer.
Well, especially
it set the tone.
Well, the song is about wounded.
It's about the whole goddamn thing.
Well, the song is about soldiers being damaged in battle, which is exactly what Frank Castle is, and it does all these flashbacks, right? And then they're doing the slow part, but by the time they end, the darkness enveloping me, all that I am, and Frank is just like machine gunning people down. I'm just like,
and it's just like random like shots with just blood splattering over everything.
Dude, and the guy's like, I don't know anything. He's like, I believe you, and then blows his head off with a shotgun. I mean, this is not good. If you don't want to watch just mad, insane violence, Punisher may not be the show for you. Yeah. But I think this has a potential.
Punisher is not he's not the guy that's like trying just to do the right thing. Well, and maybe, like, oops, he kind of did, he kind of accidentally hurt the wrong people. No, he does not give a fuck. He's out for blood vengeance, and he doesn't care who the fuck he kills to get it.
Yeah, and it's, you know what, this looks like the Punisher we have all waited for. The Thomas Jane movie I enjoyed, but that felt almost like a campy version. Like, they tried to make the Punisher almost a good guy. Where this is like, the Punisher kills bad people, but he is a mass murderer, right?
Yeah.
And this series does not shy away from that.
And if you remember what the actor was saying, that he wanted this Punisher to not... He didn't want you to feel sympathy for him. He didn't want you to, like, try and get, the good feeling that he's, a good guy, because he's not. He is a mass murderer. Yeah.
He is a serial killer. He goes around and he kills anybody who he perceives to be wrong or evil. Yeah. And honestly, if you haven't watched season 2 of Daredevil where they introduce this character, you definitely should. It's some of the best television you're going to watch. What's cool about this character too is he's not just a cold-blooded murder machine. There's many layers to him. Now he's a bad guy, right? I mean, he's kind of a good guy in the aspect of, you know, he has a sense of honor. He has a code, but he's a ruthless killing machine. He just don't care. And seeing 13 episodes of him just doing this is going to be awesome. I'm really excited for the Punisher.
I'm super pumped up for it.
Yeah, I'm super. You know what I'm really to be excited for is if we got a Ghost Rider Punisher team up. How great would that be? Just two murder machines.
They did the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Ghost Rider, fucking and Punisher.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Hey, Netflix, Marvel, make that happen, please.
Yeah.
All right, and then I think that's it. I think that's all the news we got.
Woo.
Woohoo! I probably missed something, but whatever. I don't care. It's already late.
Sorry.
And we gotta talk about the best thing in the whole world, Ryan. You know what that is, don't you?
Faithful 50?
Nope, we're not gonna talk about the Faithful 50, Ryan. We're gonna talk about a little movie that. Oh yeah, we'll talk about this because it's also news. We're gonna talk about the movie It. The Stephen King story. Are you sure you don't mean the IT crowd? And I don't have a whole bunch of notes, so I'm not going to name off all the actors, and I'm not going to name off all the characters. I'm not going to name the director. All you need to know is it stars Pennywise the Clown, a whole bunch of kids, the main kid Mike from Stranger Things, and I mentioned Pennywise the Clown. Pennywise the Clown, the evil psychopath clown that's trying to murder them all, and this is based on the Stephen King story, It. This is the first chapter. This is the first half of the story, and we're going to talk about that right now. So if you have not seen It, you might want to skip ahead in about 5 minutes. I'm going to try and keep it fairly spoiler-free, but we are going to be talking about it, so if you want to know nothing about It, we'll see you in 5 minutes. But that being said, oh my god, this movie is amazing, Ryan. You are such a wuss. You need to see this movie. It's not really a horror movie. First of all, I'd like to say that. All right? Is there
a lot of like creepy clown stuff where he murders people?
Yes, and stuff? But it's not a horror. Okay, so before we get into it, so basically, for those of you who don't know what it's about, basically a group of kids live in Deary, Maine, up in Maine. And it's like this picturesque town. It's in the 80s, and all these kids have gone missing, right? The story starts out like you've seen right from the trailers. A little boy gets murdered right away, which is fucking terrible. It's one of the worst parts of the movie is the very beginning. They just dive right in. They're like, listen, we're going to murder children in this, and you're going to see it. There's going to be children laying on the road with arms, missing arms, and blood pouring out that are like, somebody help me. And you're just like... But that being said...
No, I can't.
Stop it. That's all in the first couple minutes of the movie, people, so I'm not spoiling anything. But basically, it's about the kids being terrorized by this clown and all kind of coming to realize, like, hey, it's not coincidence. All these kids have turned up missing, and there's something evil that's trying to get us. And besides that, it's not just about that. It's about... You know, there's abusive parents, there's sexually abusive parents, there's horrible people, there's bullies, there's awful things that happen that these kids have to deal with. The thing I liked about this movie the most is it's very much Stand By Me or The Goonies, right? By itself, you take Pennywise the Clown out of this movie, I would still watch this movie. The dialogue is amazing. The kid actors are fantastic. It's one of the funnier movies I've seen this year, and that's... It's a horror movie, but it's not a horror movie. Basically, if you take a rated R Goonies, mixed it with Stand By Me, and threw in a psycho clown, that is what It is. There's a reason why people are talking about this movie, and it's already become the highest grossing horror movie of all time, is because it's not just a horror movie, and it doesn't have that, like, you know, in most horror movies, you have this, like, terrible tension from the very beginning all the way to the end of, like, who's going to die. There's moments that have tension. And there's definitely moments when you're going to jump out of your seat. There's one part in particular where I jumped out and was like, fuck that clown. And everybody around me is like, yeah, fuck that clown. Because you're just like, oh. But it is such a good movie. And like I said, the things these kids have to overcome, they don't just have to deal with, you know, you find out with the Losers Club, and basically it's all these kids, they get together, and they're all the losers. And so they kind of protect each other and are friends with each other, and they call themselves the Loser Club. And it's about them having to deal with awful bullies and deal with abusive parents. And also on top of it, have to deal with this freaking clown who's just insane. And the guy, and Skarsgård, the brother of the vampire from True Blood, plays Pennywise perfect. I know some people were mad because it's not the Pennywise from the 90s, you know. what was it? The Tim.
Tim Meadows.
No, not Tim Meadows. Jesus. The guy from Rocky Mountain Horror Picture. Anyway, it's not his version of Pennywise, but this Pennywise is great. I love this Pennywise. He's actually kind of funny. There's a part where he's standing there, one kid looks at him, and he's chewing on this arm just out in the middle of nowhere, and he waves the kid's arm at the guy, and then disappears, and you're like, everyone thinks they're seeing shit in the beginning. It's fun. It's funny, yeah. But it's fucked up. This movie is, everyone should see this movie. It is great from start to finish. I loved it. I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. That's how much I loved it. My only criticism, the reason why I knock it down is, like I said earlier, it's 2 hours and 20 minutes, and there's a little part towards, say about an hour and 20 minutes in, where it starts to sag a little bit. The length of this movie starts to feel a little redundant. You know, some of the things start feeling a little redundant. Some of the scares. It's like you're ready to move on. You know, they're trying to get you to this point, but they're like, we're going to stretch out just a little bit longer. I feel like you could have tightened this movie up to probably 2 hours. But then again, there's so many things. Like, you would not want to cut out any of the dialogue or any of the interaction with the kids because it's so great. So, but yeah, it is fantastic. Love this movie. They're doing the sequel. They've already started production on It Chapter 2, which will tell the story
how many chapters is it? How many chapters is it? Like 3?
Well, no, it's going to be a 2-part movie. So if you read the book, it's about them as kids, and then the people who survive as adults having to fight, because it comes back every 30 years. And so this is about them. So they took the book, because in the book it interweaves them being adults and kids and tells a simultaneous story. What they did in this story is they took the kids part and made it into a movie, and then the next one's going to be 27, 30 years later. But don't let that fool you. This movie definitely has a definitive end, which is really cool. And I enjoyed the hell out of it. I took my wife; she loved it too. Even if you're a big wuss, yes, there are parts you are going to jump, but it is not a terrifying movie. Do not listen to people who are like, I couldn't finish it. It's not like that. It's like Stranger Things. If you love Stranger Things, you're gonna love it. I'm telling you, Ryan, it's super good.
I'm not going to see it in the theaters.
Well, watch it when it comes out.
I'll rent it on Redbox.
It is so funny. The movie is freaking hilarious and terrible at the same time. I mean, it's classic Stephen King. It feels like an 80s movie. Yeah. But it's great. I would highly recommend watching it. All right, so anyway, do you have any questions, Ryan? Do you have anything you want to ask me as a man who's terrified of this movie? Fire away.
All right. Does the clown like jump out or like from behind stuff and like? Yes,
there are jump scares in this. He's a creepy ass clown. Okay. And the way he like runs at people is, you're like, fuck. Somebody punch this goddamn clown in the face.
He does weird running. Oh, I don't know about that. Is it a lot of darkness? A lot of dark scenes?
Not really. There's a few dark scenes, but it's actually really well lit. And that's what's really cool about that. I did enjoy about this movie is a lot of times horror movies wait for an hour for you to really get into the. They build up the mystery before it shows up. Pennywise is literally in the first 5 minutes of this movie, and most of his scenes are in the daylight. Like, he don't give a fuck, right? He's like, I'm just gonna show up in the middle of the day and I'm gonna try and murder you in the street in front of other people, right?
So aside from the one kid getting murdered, is there a lot of kids getting hurt?
I've never seen a movie where more children die than this movie.
Oh my god. Man.
I mean, it's not torture porn. You know me. I don't like the overly.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting to. It's like
I said, there's a part where Pennywise is chewing on, like, there's a severed arm, and he's got this hand, right? And there's a bone sticking out. You can tell it's from a child, and he's like chewing on it, and then someone looks at him, and then he takes the hand and he's like.
Yeah.
So there's no like guts like hanging off his face, or like he doesn't like rip arms off of a child, and you're sitting. There's not really any cringe-worthy moments. There's some awful moments, but it's nothing that's gonna make you just like I'm gonna be sick, right?
Well, it doesn't sound like it's as bad as I was thinking.
No, it's not. It's not like this psychological. Like, when you watch The Exorcist, it just gives you the EBGBs. This is more of like a funny, awful horror. Like I said, it's Goonies.
It's like you said, I'll take you on your word. If it's like Stranger Things,
Yes.
Because Stranger Things, like, I was skeptical about if I wanted to get into it, but God, I was so glad I did.
It should send a check to Stranger Things because people were so dying for more Stranger Things that they move it to the 80s. It feels like Stranger Things. This could literally be a sequel to Stranger Things. Just make it rated R, have all the kids talk about their dicks all the time, and
somebody goes to the Upside Down.
Yeah, which is basically where Pennywise lives. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, Pennywise is much more terrifying than the like little vagina face monster thing, but yeah.
I'll wait until it comes out.
Highly recommend. The hype is real for a reason. Everyone should go see it. It's amazing. 9.5 out of 10.
Well, thank you very much for that review, Brian. You definitely changed my thought process on
Anything else you'd like to ask me about it, Ryan?
No. Honestly, you kind of alleviated some of the fears that I had about. I don't like torture stuff. I don't like lots of like blood and like all that kind of stuff.
It's not, dude. It's not torturous. There's not like tons of bloods and guts. And sorry, everybody. I was looking at the score. So just a little quick update on my Geek Dad Report versus the NFL. My first pick, I did go 0-1. But anybody who listened to that and thought I was crazy for picking the Niners, the Niners stormed back and lost that game. They on a last second 2-point conversion failed, so they lost 41-39.
Wow.
Wasn't
That's
that far
actually pretty
off?
amazing. That's actually pretty amazing for them.
Yeah. And Frank Gore got me 32 points. Woo!
God damn.
Or not Frank Gore. Carlos Hyde. Woo! Don't even know my own players. All right, moving on. From the Faithful 50.
We do have questions from the Faithful 50, Brian. Did you know that?
Did I know what?
We had questions from the Faithful 50.
Who are the Faithful 50?
There's 50 people.
Okay, good.
That are faithful.
Awesome.
And they gave us questions.
Nice.
That we need to answer.
That's amazing.
Are you
good quality
prepared for
people.
this?
I like them already.
Are you prepared? Are you ready?
I am prepared. I am ready.
This first one you teased a little bit earlier.
All right.
And there's no question mark, so I guess it's more of a statement. But it just says Goku versus Superman. I'm guessing he's thinking they fight.
He wants to know who's going to win in a fight between Goku, Super Saiyan Goku, or everyone's favorite underwearing badass.
I have one question.
What?
Does Goku shoot lasers from his eyeballs?
No, but he does shoot a Kamehameha, which is a super power blast.
I still think Superman wins.
So Goku can teleport, and if he were to teleport Superman to a place that did not have a yellow sun, he could technically win. But we're going to say for our purposes that they fight in our solar system. And since Superman is an infinite battery with a yellow sun, I'm going to say that Superman would, in fact, win, like we talked about last week. So, there's actually a video someone put together that shows what would happen if Superman fought Goku. It basically ended with the entire universe getting obliterated and blown up. So
that makes sense.
But I'm not going to. But I'm in a completely unbiased opinion. Completely unbiased. No fight in the game. No reason to like Superman. I'm going to say that Superman would defeat Goku in a fight. It's going to go like this. I'm the winner. Almost knocked my computer over.
There you go, David. Thank you very much. So we have a next one from Christopher Reed. And he wants to know the Xbox One X.
Yes.
The iPhone X. When will these companies stop taking his branding? If you don't know Chris, he goes by X.
Exofur.
Just literally X.
I would say one thing. Unless you have trademarked your name, Christopher, technically you are infringing on their trades.
Yeah. So you need to trademark that shit, buddy.
Yeah, once you trademark it, then I'll answer your question. But I want to say that all these other people have already put in the legal paperwork, so technically you are infringing on them.
Yes. So, Professor X, I don't know if you're going to make it, buddy.
Yeah,
we'll
and
see.
I mean, you want to launch a new show. If anybody doesn't know Chris, he's launching his own new little show here called Professor X, where you just ask him things and he tells you. I'm pretty sure Professor X is also trademarked. So if you want to start complaining about people stealing other people's names, maybe you should just not throw that rock in that house of yours that's made of glass.
He is bald, but he is not in a wheelchair.
I mean, if you really want to commit to the role, you know what you got to do.
Yeah, you got to break them legs, Chris. All right, and we have another question from Chris. He wants to know, VR has made its home on PC and PS4. Mm-hmm. Do you think if the Xbox comes out with a VR setup, you'd be likely to pay for it? Play with it. God damn.
I'd like to say right off the bat, I probably wouldn't, but that's without me really trying it out a lot. I mean, I've done a few things here and there. As a parent, it's hard for me to ever really just completely take myself away from what's going on around me. I have these really cool, you're going to need to move your camera, Ryan, move it again. Your face is totally getting cut off right now. There you go. I have a pair of really nice Bose noise canceling head. You're getting me dizzy. I'm going to throw up all over you. Stop moving the shit, Ryan. I have a pair of really nice Bose noise canceling headphones, and I can't really wear them a lot around the house because they really do cancel out most of the background noise. So my kids could literally be lighting the house on fire or using a chainsaw, and I couldn't hear them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and if everybody knew your youngest child, she would be doing both of those things at the same time.
Yes, lighting the house. She probably has a chainsaw that is on fire. So, VR, I enjoy just having a controller. I don't necessarily want to be completely taken out of my environment and put into a game environment. I wouldn't mind using the VR stuff for maybe watching a movie. That might be kind of cool. It's much more like you're there in the movie. That's the time when you do want to cancel out all other noise and stuff. I'm sure it's great. For me, I think maybe I've gotten too old. Right now I'm not interested in it. I mean, we'd have to see what they would have and the technology that came along with in the games. But for right now, I'm just, whatever. I like sitting on my couch with my sweetest massager on my neck playing Destiny 2.
Yeah, I have not tried anything VR just because of my eyes and how hard it is for me. So, I don't know, Chris. Sorry. But I'm sure it'll be sweet.
Yeah.
So we have our next one from Brian, and he wants to know, what is a show that is new this fall that we should keep our eye out for to check out?
Well, I'm going to say not Inhumans.
Yeah, not Inhumans. Maybe Gifted. Or is it Gifted?
Gifted was the one I was thinking of. I don't think CW has any new ones as far as their comic books that are.
Aren't they doing Black Bolt? But
Black Lightning. Black Lightning might be one that's pretty good.
Yeah, Black Lightning.
I haven't really heard a lot of hype for any new shows other than Gifted. There's been a lot of that. And if you're not familiar with Gifted, it's basically Fox is trying to rip off the X-Men without having to put the X-Men on TV. But Legion was actually really enjoyable if you got over how stylized it was and got all the way to the end. It was actually a pretty enjoyable series. But I would say maybe give Gifted a try, maybe Black Lightning. Definitely check out The Punisher on Netflix.
Mm-hmm. And now we have another one from Chris, and thank you, Brian, for that one.
Thank you, Brian.
This is a Would You Rather. Be forced to watch the remake of Death Race, the 2050, the one that we reviewed last year for our Crap.
Spoiler alert, it was real bad.
Yes, but awesome.
No, just bad.
Okay, so would you rather watch the remake every single day for the rest of your life, or have every video game graphics reduced to Virtual Boy level for all eternity?
That's easy. I will take the Virtual Boy level for all eternity because those games were awesome when I was a kid.
I love my Virtual Boy. That was sweet.
But the idea of spending 2 hours of my life every single day watching that terrible movie, nope. No way in hell. I'll take old, bad graphic video games because you can still enjoy those or choosing to not play them versus watching that movie every day.
Yeah.
And hey, real quick, back to Brian's question. If you do want to watch Gifted will be on Fox this fall. And if you're interested in The Punisher, it's on Netflix.
See, we have a question from Dale. And he wants to know, outside of Voyager's Doctor, who was simply the Doctor, he was the one that was a hologram. Which Star Trek Doctor would you trust the most to operate on you?
Well, that's easy. Beverly Crusher, because not only does she have the best technology, she's also a fairly hot older lady.
I would normally say the Doctor, just because he was one of my favorites. Bashir from Deep Space Nine would probably be my number 2.
Dude, he was super cranky.
Yeah, he was kind of super cranky.
Well, and, I'd say Doctor. I'd say Bones. Bones, hands down. Except for the technology, when Bones was the Doctor, did not seem very good.
Yeah, I want Bones to be my Doctor, but he's in Voyager timeline, which is like the farthest timeline they've gone.
You know, see, I'd still I prefer a nice female Doctor, right? I mean, they're much more nice when they got to give you news. They're much more motherly. If you've got to get a you know, your hernia checked, maybe. Do you want like
I've never once had a female Doctor.
Oh, really? I have.
Yeah. It's not like my preference. Just
when you had your vasectomy, did you have a female nurse have to clean you up?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when they're taping your junk to your stomach, that's a little weird.
That was the one who shaved your stomach?
No, they tape. Well, they shave your genital area, which.
Yeah.
Okay, we've turned into some dad talk here. If you're gonna go get a vasectomy, a couple things you need to know. One, shave your shit yourself. You can get a nice 3-blade gel, smooth, very nice. They whip out a freaking hedge trimmer and a hatchet, and they just want to chop it. You know, nope. And then
the nurse looked at me and she said, "Oh, thank you. You already took care of all this for me." It's like, "Yep."
And then she proceeded to like grab my wiener and then check all around it, and then she duct taped it to my stomach. That's not cool. She had to use a lot of tape though, Ryan. Like it was more like on my chest, but you know.
You just hear a piano going rip, rip.
God. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, what were we talking about? So anyway, yes, Beverly Crusher. Moving on. Good question, Dale.
Bones would be my number 1 Doctor. Number 2 would be Bashir from Deep Space Nine, and God damn it, Dale, I would have used the Doctor because he was my favorite. So
yes, for 1, Ryan. You gave like 5. Moving on. Thanks, Dale. So, good question.
Jeff, good old Jeff. He wants to know what show or movie looks so bad that it made you want to watch it even more. And he's put in parentheses, he had no intention of watching the Inhumans. That is a huge pile. He's interested. You know what, Dale? Jeff, I completely agree with you that I really did not care about the Inhumans. And now that I'm hearing that it's just such a big pile of shit, it's only going to get 1 season, I'm actually interested in watching it.
So I have 3 shows that were terrible that I just had to watch because they're so terrible. 1 was at least Inhumans. Gotta watch it. I think we're all in agreement on that one. 2 was the Shannara Chronicles. Oh, man. That was terrible, but I continued to watch it. It was really bad.
Yeah, that's weird. Now I think about it, it's like I kept thinking, like, God, that episode was fucking stupid. And I'm like, do you want to watch the next one?
Yeah,
sure.
I just kept watching it. It was terrible, but I just kept watching. The third is this terrible summer show that I just continue to watch called Zoo. It's based on a James Patterson book, and the series is so bad. It is one of the worst shows I've ever seen, but it's so ridiculous that I just continue to watch it. I don't know why. But yeah, there you go. There's our picks. Is that all the questions we got?
Yep, that was all the questions that we had.
Thanks, everybody. As always, you guys come up with some amazing questions that we would definitely not think of. So we appreciate you guys playing along every single week. All right, now before we get out of here, we'll make it quick and short and to the point. Weekly recommendations. What you should or shouldn't be wasting your time doing this week. Ryan, as always.
Mine's going to be a little bit more on the humanity side. That I've been reading a lot about what's been happening with Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico. We try not to stay out of like real time stuff on the show. We don't try and dive too much into it, but definitely please go out to the Red Cross, donate, find ways to help. Puerto Rico is like 100% without power. And, I mean, it's it's still a part of America. These are all Americans. I mean, we can't forget about these people. Just and I mean, yes, there's Harvey and there's Irma. They're gonna 100% get what they want, but Puerto Rico will really have to be fighting for every single dollar they get from the federal government.
If you think Hurricane fucking Trump is going to give anything to Puerto Rico without people demanding it, you're out of here. You're wrong.
Yeah, so it's going to be, they're going to have to fight for everything that they get. So yes, Harvey and Irma were really bad. Those people are going to get assistance. We know that. I am not 100% sure the Puerto Ricans are going to get any kind of help. So donate, find ways to help them out.
If you don't trust the Red Cross,
give what you can.
If you don't trust the Red Cross, just Google organizations. A lot of them are much more transparent than Red Cross, and much more of your donation will go directly to the Puerto Ricans. So just like I said, check it out online. There's tons of different websites you can find to help donate. So anyway, check it out. Thank you, Ryan. That's really good. Thanks for doing yours first. So mine just seems like a first world problem type recommendation. You know what? Whatever. Watch Wonder Woman. She's amazing. The DVD's out. Buy it on Blu-ray. Get it on digital code. She represents hope and happiness. And if you want to send copies of this to Puerto Rico, don't, because they don't have fucking power and they can't watch it. But if you want to get a copy, you can get yours on Amazon right now for like $20. Buy it. It's amazing.
Awesome.
Don't buy that copy because it just exploded on the floor.
You know what, Brian?
Yes, Ryan?
People need to know where they could find us.
They do. You should tell them.
Well, they can find us on Twitter at the Geek Dad Report. You can find Brian at BrianWest53, and I am Big Breezer. We are on Facebook at the Geek Dad Report and YouTube as the Geek Dad Report. We are also on podhell.com, and you can find us on iTunes. So please go to any one of those places, leave a comment, give us a 5-star rating, a thumbs up, subscribe, like, share with your friends. Please just share with your friends. If we did something that you thought was funny, just type in your friend's name in the comments so that they'll see it. And we will put a Porg on every single episode. If that's what you guys want, we will have Porgs all over the place.
Can I make a quick recommendation, though? Do not Google Porg. You get a lot of things that are not the Porgs.
Oh. Yeah,
definitely don't Google Porging.
Ooh.
Anyway, like Ryan said, find us everywhere. Like, share, subscribe. Like we said earlier, we're going to make it go viral. Share us like the herpes, everybody. We want everybody to catch us. Share, like, subscribe.
So, I went against your wishes. And I just Googled Porging. And I'm scarred for life.
Yeah, I told you. All right, well, unless you got anything else, Ryan, thanks everybody for joining us for another, hopefully, smile-inducing episode of the Geek Dad Report. Until next week, stay awesome, everybody.
Stay nerdy.